What if I told you that one of the most famous, most photographed monuments on the entire planet is hiding secrets deep within its ancient stone body? I'm talking about the Great Sphinx of Giza. For more than 4,500 years, it has watched over the sands of Egypt, a silent, immovable, eternal guardian, with the powerful body of a lion and the regal face of a king. It's a symbol of mystery and majesty that has captivated humanity for centuries. The mainstream story, the one you'll find in most history books, is that the Sphinx was carved during the reign of Pharaoh Khufu. Around 2500 BC, his pyramid, the second largest at Giza, stands right behind it. It makes sense, right? The face of the Sphinx is believed to be his, a divine ruler meant to guard his own tomb and the entire necropolis for eternity, a symbol of royal power and a connection to the sun god, Ora. For decades, this has been the accepted truth. But what if that's only part of the story? What if the Sphinx is much more than just a pharaoh's portrait carved in stone? Ancient legends, whispered down through generations, paint a very different picture. They speak of the Sphinx not as a monument, but as a gateway, a lock protecting a chamber of profound, forgotten knowledge. These aren't just campfire stories. In recent decades, modern science has stumbled upon tantalizing clues that suggest there might be something to these old tales. It all started with a simple question: what lies beneath this colossal statue? Using technologies like seismographs and ground-penetrating radar, scientists began to scan the bedrock beneath and around the Sphinx. What they found was astonishing. They detected anomalies, empty spaces, voids, chambers right where solid limestone should be. Specifically, they found strange, rectangular-shaped cavities deep in the rock beneath the Sphinx's massive paws. These weren't natural caves or simple cracks in the stone. They appeared to be man-made, symmetrical, and intentionally placed. This is where the story takes a thrilling turn. These findings line up perfectly with predictions made by the famous American psychic Edgar Cayce decades earlier. In the 1930s and 40s, while in a trance state, Cayce spoke of a hidden chamber near the Sphinx. He called it the Hall of Records. According to his readings, this chamber was built by survivors of a highly advanced, lost civilization, Atlantis. He claimed that this library housed scrolls, tablets, and artifacts containing their entire history, their scientific knowledge, and the secrets to understanding the purpose of life itself. He even predicted that it would be discovered before the end of the 20th century. Now, whether you believe in psychics or not, you can't deny the strange coincidence. Scientists, with no agenda other than geological survey, found chambers exactly where Cayce said they would be. It sent a shockwave through the worlds of archaeology and alternative history. Could this legendary Hall of Records actually be real? A lost library holding the wisdom of a civilization far older and more advanced than the ancient Egyptians. A civilization that predates the pyramids themselves. This brings us to the water erosion hypothesis. A geologist named Robert Schoch studied the weathering patterns on the body of the Sphinx and the walls of the enclosure it sits in. He noticed that the erosion wasn't caused by wind and sand, as you'd expect in a desert. Instead, the deep, vertical fissures looked like they were carved by centuries, even millennia, of heavy rainfall. But here's the thing: Egypt hasn't had that kind of rainfall for a very, very long time. The climate there has been hyper-arid for thousands of years. For the Sphinx to have this type of water erosion, Schoch argued, it would have to be much, much older than 4,500 years. He dated it to somewhere between 7,000 and 10,000 BC, a time when the Sahara was a lush, green savanna. If he's right, it changes everything. It would mean the Sphinx was carved by a culture we know absolutely nothing about, long before the pharaohs. It would make the Sphinx the oldest large-scale sculpture on Earth, completely rewriting our understanding of early human civilization. It would also lend massive support to the idea that a sophisticated prehistoric society existed, one that could have built the Hall of Records. So, we have scientific data pointing to hidden chambers and geological evidence suggesting the Sphinx is thousands of years older than we thought. The next logical step would be to excavate, right? To drill a small hole, send in a camera, and finally see what's inside. And for a brief, exciting moment in the 1990s, it looked like that was about to happen. A team led by researcher John Anthony West, along with geologist Robert Schoch, secured permission to do further investigations. They conducted more seismic tests, confirming the presence of the anomalies. The world held its breath. News outlets reported on the potential discovery of a lifetime. The team was planning to drill and explore these hidden voids. But then, suddenly, everything stopped. Official permission to drill was abruptly revoked by the Egyptian authorities. The project was shut down. The teams were sent home, and a wall of silence fell over the entire affair. The official explanation was vague, citing concerns about preserving the integrity of the monument. But to many, this felt like a cover-up. Why go to all the trouble of scanning, only to halt the project at the very brink of discovery? Why were these tantalizing findings never fully pursued or revealed to the public? Speculation ran wild. Was the Egyptian government, protective of its established historical narrative, afraid of what might be found? Were they worried that proof of an older, pre-Egyptian civilization would undermine their country's cultural identity and tourism industry? Or is there something else at play? Are there powers at work, trying to keep this knowledge hidden from the world? To this day, the area around the Sphinx's paws is strictly off-limits. While other chambers and tunnels in the Giza Plateau have been explored, this specific area remains untouched. Officially, no secret room has ever been opened. The chambers detected by seismic scans remain a complete mystery. Are they natural geological features, as some skeptics suggest? Or are they intentionally sealed rooms, locked thousands of years ago, waiting for the right time to be revealed? So, what is the Great Sphinx really? Is it just a statue of a pharaoh, a masterpiece of ancient Egyptian art? Or is it a time capsule, a key left behind by a forgotten civilization? Is it the guardian of the legendary Hall of Records, holding answers to the deepest questions about our past and our purpose? For now, the Sphinx remains silent. It has kept its secrets for thousands of years, watching empires rise and fall, seeing generations come and go. It continues its timeless vigil, its enigmatic gaze fixed on the horizon, as if it's waiting for the day when we are finally ready to understand the truth it guards, hidden just beneath the sands of time. What do you think is hiding under the Sphinx? A lost library of a forgotten age, or just more rock and sand? Let me know your theories down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and if you enjoy exploring the world's greatest mysteries, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more. See you next time.